last call for glory. We're running the game with strategy sharp, igniting the flame. Draft day madness, our hearts pounding fast. In this fantasy showdown, we're built to outlast.
Ooh, it's game week. Football's back.
Game time.
September 2nd, day after Labor Day. Fresh off of an epic weekend of college football. Get a little taste, a little. I'm ready. It's a great weekend for me. Florida State whooped some Bama ass.
Hell yeah, they did.
Miami and Florida won, so there's that. But other than that, I'm ready for a weekend of football. And just realizing the Chiefs and Chargers play on Friday. I mentioned earlier before the show. So we got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
No more week 0 nonsense, BS.
Girlfriend's out of town. I got football for 4 days straight.
Bro.
I'm going to buy all the
I don't ask
pizza,
for much.
wings, and beer I can.
I don't ask for much.
You could be better.
Dude, seriously, if I were you...
It's every man's dream.
Don't, bro, how many times... we done this show for a year, and he still ain't learned. He still ain't learned the rule. If you're so thirsty...
Anyways, before we get this show started off, you want to cheers?
Fine. Cheers. The optics of this it doesn't hit the same, but...
Yeah, you look like a little white girl bitch.
But it's my favorite cup, so fuck off. Ooh!
You probably can hold a lot more than me. That's what's definitely more beneficial.
Oh, hell yeah. I got 20.
What do you got, Maker's Mark?
Actually, it's Jack Daniels this time. I didn't want to spend the extra $8.
Jack Daniels.
Listen, man, when I got to buy the mixers, I don't buy the top option at whiskey. You got to keep the price
That's
the
why
same.
you got to get that old granddad, son.
Whatever. We're not getting into that. Anyways, football's back. And fantasy football is fun. So we have lots of things to talk about. This is our first week in week show. Basically, we got football this week, so we got to go over everything that has come up to this point to be ready for the weekend. And to remind the viewer...
The viewer. Caleb or Timmy.
Yes. The situation that goes on at Last Call Fantasy Football. So we play in a 10-man standard league like everyone should. Old-fashioned, the best way to play. And with all of us lifelong friends, that's the main crux of the show. Justin and I are in a bunch of leagues, but this is the main one we care about. We just completed our draft on Monday night. It was a roller coaster of emotions, can't even lie. But I had a great time. We had a great time.
I thought that would be our easiest draft, and it was the hardest. Honestly, that was harder. That was a harder draft than the 12-team Megalodon one.
Oh yeah, big time. And
Which
I think
is crazy.
Well, I'll go off on a tangent real quick, and then we get into the show. But I think because I've had this league going since 2011 on NFL.com. I know it's by far the least popular. It doesn't have the functionalities that most of the other platforms have. However, we find it the most aesthetically pleasing. It has our history on it. It's just something about getting that blue notification when your player scores a touchdown that just like hits me right in my soul. So we're still on there, and I think drafting on NFL.com, which doesn't have a lot of the pre-planning tools, has a lot less functionality on mock drafts. I think that gets our expectations all jumbled up, and plus we play with a bunch of dum-dums, and they throw everything off too. So, but that's part of,
they do.
The prep is fun, the drafting is just as fun. The chaos of what happens is ultimately why we play this game. And I'm excited for the season. Justin and I play each other first every year. Honestly, we can discuss. I've got some things prepared for.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna win. I'm already projected to.
I don't even have a defense yet, so
It doesn't matter.
frig off, Randy. So
Let me see if you can find a defense projected 12 points.
it doesn't matter what the projections are. It's what's going to score me 12 points to make up for your nonsense ass.
Well, my projections are I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Whatever, bro. Honestly, every time I feel like that does happen, whoever's projected to win does not win. You can't tell me I'm wrong. And the projections are within 30 points of the total final score.
Honestly, this week is very anticipated, and maybe dude, you know what would have been cool is if this year only we made it. Nah, it would have went against the tradition. But if the audience says no, we may have really talked about this on the podcast. There's gonna be a last call bowl. He's a Broncos fan, obviously. You can see his background. I'm a Colts fan. Week 2, they play each other. We were gonna go to the game. We decided to not do that because we're broke bitches. So Kyle's gonna come to Tallahassee, and we're gonna have a last call bowl. Stay tuned for more info on that.
Well, that doesn't happen every year, so we can't just plan.
That's what I'm saying, though, is that maybe this year we should have made it to where we play each other week 2.
Hindsight's 2020. Whatever. Actually, you know what? It's fun and all, but I kind of like being able to put aside fantasy at that point, and we can focus on that specific game. However,
that's true.
Spoiler alert, I got a lot of orange and blue players on my team, so I'm gonna be carrying a lot either way. So
I don't have any Colts.
I got the best one. All right, so let's get into the show. So what we're doing today is we've got our why am I blanking? We have our Bet the House segment, tough calls, and our draft recap. So we'll go over our draft, the ins and outs of what that is. I'll pull up something I put together for that. We've got the Bet the House, which essentially is we're betting the house on these specific items, actions to happen. So whether that be player projections,
it's like a bold, bold takes.
I don't think it's necessarily bold. It's just ones that we are betting our house on. We are guaranteeing putting our name on, and with all of our vast wisdom and experience, willing to put our names next to that and deem it to happen. And then tough calls, we essentially have head-to-head, start this person, or do you like this person's player's position or situation better for this week or this one? And these ones are always fun.
Like a start sit,
Correct. And I don't know if it's necessarily always start sit, but it's who is your confidence in more? If you happen to have that start sit situation, take it as that. But different situations call for different ways to think about it, and these are always fun for us to do. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I'll go ahead and let you start with your first bet the hizzy.
Oh, you gonna let me bet the hizzy for Rizzy?
I'll let you bet the hizzy for Rizzy, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right,
that's how you end a sentence now.
Huh?
Nothing. Go on.
You said you wanted me to finish the sentence?
No.
Okay.
Lord have mercy.
My first Bet the House take of the 2025 season.
Is there supposed to be a drum roll going or something, or did you forget how to read?
Commanders and Giants game is going to be a shootout week 1. And Jaden Daniels is going to break the sophomore slump with a big week 1 performance.
You would love that, wouldn't you? Spoiler.
I would, and I think it's going to happen.
I think that's a hot take, only in the fact it's at Washington, right?
No.
Or no, it's at
he
Giants.
plays for Washington. And
what?
It's Jaden Daniels plays for the Washington Commanders.
I know he does, you dumb hoe. It's at the Giants. Or no, it's at home versus the Giants. That's what I said.
You said at Washington.
The game was at Washington. That is a valid statement.
Oh, well then why would that be a bold take?
It wasn't. It was. I was continuing the conversation, man. I was saying, whatever. I'm saying the Giants' defense, I think, is extremely legit. So I think that it's tough to deem it a shootout week 1. I get it. I would love for that to happen. I would love to see 2 teams go at it week 1, division rivals, all kinds of different expectations and hypes for both these teams.
Yeah. I think that the Giants D line is super legit. But when it comes to Jaden Daniels, I think he's foolproof. When you're talking about a great D line that he's going up against, he's going to get the yard. Honestly, that could almost be somewhat of a good thing. The more pressure that they put on him, the more he's going to scramble. And for fantasy, that's great.
Yeah.
That's what I want him to do.
Jaden Daniels, who was second to last in the league in pressure to sack ratio last year behind Caleb Williams. Oh!
Well,
didn't know that one.
All I know is he's one of the most dynamic runners of the football in the league. And I don't think the Giants' secondary is also very good.
No.
I also think that this year, I think Debo is going to make an impact for Jaden Daniels. Only in the instance that, like, he's going to take a bunch of those just, like, short dump-offs and run with them. It's going to be like having a really good scat back. You know, how Drew Brees would always benefit from having Alvin Kamara or, whatever scat back, Darren Sproles. No. I think that's going to boost his bottom line this year.
Yeah, like I said, I if I was not from an overall fantasy perspective, I want to see as many shootouts as we possibly can. So just to recap, the bet the house was that it's going to be a shootout. Is that it? It was a shootout?
Well, the bet the house is more so that Jaden Daniels is going to break the sophomore curse.
Oh, okay. I mean,
and he's going to have a good week.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's pretty mild bet the house, if you ask me, but all right.
I mean, if the Giants defense is so good, then
I'm just saying there was no hardcore. You're betting the house on this. I get it though. It's week 1. We can't go in too hard. It's tough to know what's going on. So, not like mine though. So my first bet the house of the season. We're betting the house that Joe Flacco is a top 12 QB week 1 against the Bengals.
I mean, I don't hate it. I mean,
listen, I watched a bunch of plumbers and future Amazon drivers beat the hell out of the Cincinnati Bengals starting defense in the preseason. I think that the running situation is going to be a little sus with no real leader in the running back room because Judkins is not going to play. Don't care. And
he could definitely play.
The game is in 5 days and he has never practiced with the team. He might get if he is signed and on the active roster, he might get 4 carries and they're going to say, hey, run the ball at the B gap, get you a couple licks in. But he's not going to know the playbook. It's a non-factor for me anyways. So Jerry Jeudy is a sleeper, and he went really late in our draft with Cedric Tillman and David Njoku. Joe Flacco don't give a damn. He's going to let that thing fly, and they're probably going to need to. That's the second part of the equation is the Bengals are going to put up some points because they're one of the best offenses in football. Cleveland's defense is much better than the Bengals. However, the Bengals' offense is much better than the Browns. So the ball going to be flying around. Joe Flacco is going to come in at least 2 tutties, pushing 300 yards. So top 12 QB for old man Joe Flacco, week 1. Bet it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I am curious to see, at what point, he's the oldest player in the league. At what point is it the wheels are off?
The second he stops winning starting jobs. I mean...
Well, it's not like he had very much competition, though, to be fair.
I mean, yeah. But they had a quarterback that they traded for, clearly had a plan for in Kenny Pickett. They used a day 2 pick on Dylan Gabriel. They believed in somehow. Shador, I'm not even going to try to pretend to understand what the hell happened in that situation. But they had plenty of competition. If there's one thing that they did have, it was competition to win a job. And this is on Kevin Stefanski, the coaching staff, to keep a job. And I think that they looked around. They said, hey, this guy might be the best chance we have at winning a few games. You know, referring to Joe Flacco. It's going to be an ugly game as far as just like Bengals Browns and like
it'll just
Browns
be interesting
roster.
because like when he came in for the Colts, we all thought like, oh, this actually might be the Colts' best shot at winning, and he actually might provide some fantasy value for Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, and he actually did not do very well in the Colts.
Yeah, did better than Anthony Richardson though.
So
the passing numbers improved.
I mean, he ended up getting benched for Anthony Richardson. So
yeah, which neither is a great situation. I'm not saying that those situations are.
I'm just saying it's. I like the take, but I'm just saying this could be the year that the wheels are finally off too.
Part of this that comes into it, and this is what has been a struggle for my DST pick for week 1. There is so many good matchups week 1 where it's like, for the first time in a long time, I feel like there's more good teams in the NFL than bad teams on paper. I look at teams on paper and I'm like, this team could win 9-10 games. This team could win 9-10 games. So it's like, and point being, the only team I can guarantee you is going to suck ass is the New Orleans Saints. That's the only team in the NFL I can guarantee you today that is going to be very bad. I can bet the house that the Saints will
Titans are going to be fucking trash as well.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that, though. They have the number 1 overall pick at quarterback. They have a completely new wide receiver room. Their D-line is stacked with Jeffrey Simmons and...
How did the Bears do last year?
The Bears were a disappointment for expectations.
What about the Panthers year before that?
The Panthers have been asked for 3 straight years, but
the Titans have been asked for 3 straight years.
But
I'm just saying, like 2 years in a row, I just gave examples of drafting generational QB talents. Honestly, Caleb Williams and Bryce Young were better college talents than Cam Ward is. And you're saying that the Titans are going to be good because of Cam Ward. I mean, the Titans' defense is absolutely garbage. I can't name a single player on it.
Well, I already told you Jeffrey Simmons. He's one of the top tackles in the league, but go ahead.
Okay. They got 1 player on defense. They got Tyler Lockett.
No, they got the that corner from the Chiefs. Who was it? Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed. Top 10 corner in the league.
I think they got him last year too.
Yeah, no, he got hurt. But point is I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying a guarantee.
They're going to be asked.
You might not think that they will be good, but I'm saying you can't guarantee. We saw what happened with the. Okay, you gave me 2 examples: Bryce Young and Caleb Williams. What happened with C.J. Stroud? That team went from winning 3 games that year.
Overall pick.
Even better, he was the second.
Also, though,
You're only helping
the Texans went from like winning the division to 3 wins, and then bounced back. And they had a stout roster. It was just they needed a quarterback. The Titans had a shitty ass roster. They drafted a quarterback, and they're gonna hope it works out.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, point being is,
but I know we do need to move along here.
Yeah, you got me so twisted. I don't even know what the original argument of this BS
I didn't know
was.
what your bet the house was.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it was Joe Flacco on the Bengals. But I was talking about defenses, so we're just gonna move on.
Oh
from
yeah.
that.
Well, just draft the Cardinals, guys.
Asshole.
All right. Speaking of the Cardinals, my second bet the house is that the Cardinals get off to a hot start against an atrocious Saints defense. I think that Kyler Murray, McBride, Harrison, and Connor all have top 12 finishes at the position.
Holy hell. Okay. So, I hope, well, I will say this. I do believe that the Saints defense is much better than their offense. I think my reason for thinking that the Saints are going to suck is that their offense is putrid. And I think the defense is like okay, but I get what you're saying. I was going to try and get the Cardinals defense against the Saints and have it be a blowout, and the Cardinals are going to take off. I do think the Cardinals are going to be better.
The Saints defense has been deteriorating over the last years. I mean, they still have DeAndre Jordan, but
Demario Davis.
He's got to be like 35 at this point.
Yeah. No, it'll come to an end at some point, but I just know that they're the main reason I hate them as far as a team. I think they're going to suck is because of their offense. But no,
Same.
very, very real possibility that the Cardinals can run up the score. They're just going to ground and pound. We'll see. I like it though.
Harrison. All it takes is Harrison and McBride to get theirs early in the game, and then they chew out the clock with not Jonathan Taylor, James Conner, and there you go. Prediction's true.
Top 12 from 4 positions. That's
McBride's locked in. He's gonna get top 12.
Well, honestly, if he falls outside the top 12, 'cause what the hell does it even take to be a top 12 tight end? 36 yards?
Not much.
Something like
Maybe 1 touchdown.
Not even.
6 points.
Yeah. All right. My second bet the house of week 1 of the 2025 NFL season. The Raiders get beat by the Patriots, and Brock Bowers continues to be the target leader with over 12 targets in the game. I looked back at his stats last year. He averaged somewhere around like 9, which is a ton.
Your guarantee is 12 targets, though?
Yeah, at least 12 targets. Okay. And the Raiders get beat by the Patriots week 1. I think it's pretty handedly, too. I think it's going to be some weird big play stuff. Defense is going to be stout for New England.
I think Mike Vrabel's a great coach. And I do think they're going to turn that organization back around in the right direction. I think, personally, I'm not in on the hype train. I do like Drake May. I think it's nice that they're beefing up the O-line and they're rebuilding the right way. But personally, I think that they're going to struggle still. I give them like 8 wins this year. But
yeah,
I understand the hype for sure.
I just know that the Raiders defense outside of Max Crosby is the most barren wasteland of names I've ever heard. I think the Patriots are actually going to be very potent on offense, even just to start the year. I've been on record. I've actually said that Stephon Diggs, who is out, he's expected to start week 1. He's going to be a huge factor in that. They've got Hunter Henry at tight end. They've got Henderson and Ramondre at the backfield. I think the coaching staff is going to be able I'm completely throwing away the product of last year. I'm looking at the new player additions, an extra year of experience, and the coaching prowess that's there now. Like, what is now possible with that group? And I think the Raiders are going to...
I think they brought Josh McDaniels back, right?
Yeah, he's their OC. He's had up and down years, but I think, just like in college, I think having a mobile quarterback does a ton to help your team. Drake May is going to get it done. The running backs are going to get it done. Diggs, Demario Davis, maybe Kyle Williams gets in there for a big play. I'm telling you, it's going to get weird. The Raiders' defense sucks, and the best 2 weapons on offense for the Raiders is a rookie and an elite tight end. I think they're just going to fall short. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think they're going to fall short.
Legion of Boom came from Pete Carroll.
Yeah. Also with the likes of Bobby Wagner and Richard Sherman.
Those guys weren't
Cam
Chancellor. Until they were.
I mean, I guess that's true. I'd have to look at the age of some of these players on defense for the Raiders. I feel like a lot of them have been there a long time. But I think it'll be close. But I do think the Pats squeak it out. And
I think
Bowers.
the Raiders' offense will be pretty electric this year, actually. But, yeah, I'm sure their defense will suck, which will be great for fantasy.
Godspeed, Brock Bowers. All right. Hit me with number 3.
All right. I think you'll not like this one. Or you maybe, I don't know. This might be a hot take. I think Dak and the Cowboys struggle early against a stout Eagles defense. I do think CD still gets his, but it's not spectacular.
I agree, unfortunately. I think
So if you picked Dak late, I do not think this is. I will say this: the Cowboys, I feel like they always have the week one game, right? Like going.
no.
I mean, I'm thinking back
I
like
think
every single year.
Thanksgiving. They always play
No,
Thanksgiving.
dude, think back, bro. Remember when Tom Brady went to the Bucks? They played in week one.
No, but
The Cowboys.
last year was literally the Ravens and Chiefs. The year before that was the Chiefs and Lions. That was the Isaiah Likely 1-inch toenail from winning the game. Week one against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
They don't always play the first game, but go on.
They play a lot of them, but either way, I think this Eagles defense has done nothing but get better, which is insane. They literally lost like nobody, and they just added more defensive talent through the draft and
They
free
lost
agency.
Josh Sweat
So
on the D line. It's a big deal.
I mean,
I'm just saying he's one of their starting front four, who made
for
I think
sure,
$80
for
million.
sure. I mean,
contract.
although I think that he was like probably rotating with somebody.
I'm
yeah.
not disagreeing that I agreed with you. I'm saying I think that this is not a pretty showing for the Cowboys. I think vibes are down in Dallas, and
I cannot. Oh my gosh, we have to talk about this. I haven't even talked to you about this.
what?
The Micah Parsons trade.
Oh, yeah. It's you see, my jaw is still in place. I am not surprised that the Cowboys made the worst trade in the history of trades. 2 first-round picks from a projected like Super Bowl favorite. Okay, so think about this. So not only do you just get 2 first-round picks and a 30-year-old Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark is fine. Like he's a starter in the league. He's good.
Yeah.
He's 30 years old. Micah Parsons is 26, and you only get 2 first rounds in return. And you're not trading with the Carolina Panthers, the New Orleans Saints. You're trading with a upper 30. You're going to be picking at 20 plus with these first round picks, anyways.
Yeah.
Unless they make some moves, like
That's the craziest
your
part
team just
to
got
me
worse.
is who they traded with.
Yeah.
They traded with the team that's been knocking them out of the playoffs for the last 20 years.
Again, it's just hubris and ego and everything that is wrong with the NFL is Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. Sorry, Cowboys fans. But yeah.
I agree. Let's hear your third.
All right. What is my third? Bet the house that the Bears beat the Vikings at home. And Justin Jefferson finishes outside the top 24 wide receivers week 1. I think
Top 24? You think he's going to be that bad?
He'll finish with like 7 for 74. That
That'd
probably
probably be in the top 24.
I don't know if 74 yards. Maybe it does, but it'll be fringe.
Yeah.
And I think that Ben Johnson is going to have some tricks up his sleeve. A team that he's very familiar with playing against. J.J. McCarthy going on the road, first ever start. They're missing lots of weapons on offense. J.J. is coming off of a hamstring injury where he's just getting back to practice. I'm saying it's weird vibes. Again, I find myself betting on the Bears more times than I probably should have. But I'm telling you,
This just reeks of like next week we're going to be like,
well, we know nothing.
well, that was a stupid fucking take.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
He's literally going to be the wide receiver one, week 1.
yeah. J.J. McCarthy is going to go for 400 yards, first ever, like rookie first start, 400 yards. But, yeah, I just think that it's weird vibes going on the road. And listen, I think week 1 on the road versus at home makes a ton of difference.
It for sure does.
Especially with a young QB, some inconsistency. I mean, they got Aaron Jones returning, but Jordan Mason is new. There's just a lot of nuances coming to this game, and the Bears defense is sneaky good, And the offense, if they take a step forward with all those new weapons, I think they'll make it tough on the top Vikings defense.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I've learned that you just don't bet against Justin Jefferson, so I wouldn't bet on that. But
Yeah,
I see where your head's going.
listen, I'd do it.
Maybe if you're pretty convicted on this. I say for the show's sake, you bet the under on his receiving yards.
I wonder what it is. Look it up. See if it's there. Well,
I bet you it's like 94 yards.
I don't know, man. I feel like he doesn't ever have crazy high numbers. I think the sports books are super conservative week 1, 2. I'm saying not him having super high yards. I'm saying like his line. I just remember a guy like Derrick Henry was always like plus or minus 98 yards. It's like I'm never betting on over under 98 on anyone. Like that's crazy. But yeah, I just think that the Viking situation with all the new things that are coming, JJ McCarthy, which
Other than Monday Night Football game.
I have to wait till after Monday. See that too, prime time. The lights are on, and JJ McCarthy. Ooh, the Bears are going to make it loud.
No fucking way. You want to know what his line is?
76 yards.
76.5 yards.
Just saying, Daddy knows what he's
Taking
talking
under?
about around here.
You said 74 earlier, but
I think I said 76.
that's still crazy.
Yeah. No, I'd take the under. It's not fun. Listen, taking the under, for me personally, is never fun. It's like not even...
Unless you hate that person.
Correct. But even then, I would rather root... Say the player catches the ball. I want to root for them to, like, keep going rather than to, like, get tackled. You know what I mean? Like, that is a more stressful bet, like, to watch if you bet the under, like, to have someone not get the ball. You know what I mean? It's just less fun for me. But anyways, I would.
For sure.
I think that is a tall order for a first-year starting quarterback. So, did you do your last one? Are we moving on?
Yeah. We're on to the next segment.
All right. So now, it's tough call time, baby. It's the last call for tough calls, if you will. So, we got a list of names. Tell me who you like. I'll start off. We got Calvin Ridley versus the top-ranked defense in Denver Broncos, or Xavier Worthy versus the LA Chargers.
Xavier Worthy.
And I am conflicted. Because this
Here's
one's
what I'll
actually
say.
kind of tough for me. But go on.
Calvin Ridley is 100% going to be shadowed by Pat Surtain. Also, Cam Ward is a rookie quarterback. Going to play... Look what just happened to Arch Manning against Ohio State defense. That's what's going to happen to Cam Ward. 100%. It doesn't matter how much of a talent you are. Your first game in a new league, on a new team, playing against the best defense in the league, it's what's going to happen. You're going to get exposed.
Personally, I agree. However, the reason I put this as a tough call, I think Calvin Ridley is towards the upper echelon of talents at wide receiver in the NFL. So I give that edge to Calvin Ridley. I give the quarterback edge to Xavier Worthy, obviously, with Patrick Mahomes over the rookie Cam Ward. But I give the involvement in the target guarantees to Calvin Ridley. The involvement is going to be there. Whether or not they can get it to him, that's the question. That's the reason for the tough call. However, Xavier Worthy is down Rashee Rice. And Hollywood Brown's still a little banged up. So it might not be as close as we think. Denver's defense, I think, is slightly better than the Chargers, but the Chargers no slouch either. And they're playing in Brazil on Friday night. And
I think Xavier Worthy also just gets manufactured touches, though. He's going to get maybe a few sweeps, some fast, like, little screen plays. And Calvin Ridley, I mean, we haven't really seen this new offense, but I mean, he typically doesn't get those plays, even though he is like almost like a slot.
Yeah, he'll get some screens. They'll run some screens to
Archetype.
Calvin Ridley, but who knows? Is that because they couldn't throw the ball down the field? They just needed to get the ball in his hands? Maybe.
Yeah.
It's just the rapport between Calvin Ridley and Cam Ward, the target volume, the difference in defenses. The Titans actually have the largest spread of the entire week. Broncos are plus seven or minus 7.5 points in week 1. So they're projected to have to throw the ball more. I'm just saying Calvin Ridley is the archetype of player that I would rather start and have on my team than Xavier Worthy. But if you look at it granularly, I think there's a chance that Xavier Worthy shines over him. But that's why it's tough.
Pat Surtain's been the. I mean, he is, he's up there at this point with like Darrelle Revis with shutting down people.
No,
I wouldn't put him on that level, but he's up there.
Do it for one more year. We getting real
No, if
spicy.
he has a year like Darrelle Revis had, then I'll give it to him.
Did Darrelle Revis ever win the DPOY?
He probably did, actually.
I don't know. That was a great question. But
He probably did.
But yeah, no. I mean, obviously he's on track for a gold jacket if he keeps up what he's doing.
Yes.
But and again, I'm sure you're shocked at like why I'm even contemplating this, knowing how much I'd ride for my boy PS2.
Well, I know how much you like Calvin Ridley, and I know that you're just a really big believer in Cam Ward. I'm a little surprised that you think that Cam Ward is going to have a shot, though. I mean, like, I know that you think he's good, but
I think it's going to be purely garbage time and target volume. That's what I'm talking about. So it's like if he accumulates stats over the game because they're getting blown out, and Cam Ward is a great deep ball thrower. If Calvin Ridley catches a deep one, Xavier Ridley can do that too. It's just two completely different players, play styles, situations, but they both have their own upsides and downsides. So that's why I made this one the dedicated tough call.
all right.
But if we're going to vote on it, or like we have to give our final take.
Oh, yeah, we do pick him.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no way I'm going against my boy.
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going against my boy PS2. I'm taking Xavier Worthy, which makes me want to vomit too. However, that's what I think will happen at the end of the day.
All right, are you marking these down?
Yep, got him. Go ahead.
All right, my first tough call of the 2025 season is Deebo Samuel versus the New York Giants, or Jacoby Myers versus New England Patriots.
Debo. I think that's an easy Debo. Yeah. I mean,
Jacoby Myers is going to lead the team in, well, he'll be second after Bowers for sure.
Yeah, I just think the outside corner for New England and Christian Gonzalez is a stud, and he's healthy coming into the year. I don't think Jacoby Myers is a supreme talent. If he does happen to get matched up with Myers, I think it might be Thornton on Gonzalez, or Gonzalez on Thornton most of the time, just because he plays that X role. But I think the Patriots defense is going to be pretty damn solid, and Debo can get involved in many, many ways. And I saw some rumor out there that said, what if the reason that they let go of Brian Robinson was because of Deebo Samuel, not because of inherently the other backs? Are they going to use Debo back in the running game? He's a big bruiser. If they need a goal line back, it might be Debo. So
I would not be surprised.
No, me neither. And at first I was like, what? And then I'm like, well,
he already played running back for a season.
And he finished as the wide receiver 2 on the year.
Yeah.
So
I really wanted to snag Debo late in our draft yesterday. He went like a few picks before me.
That was one of my possible.
I think Jacoby Myers can have a great season, probably his best season of the year, of his career.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. He's got the best quarterback of his career.
Yeah, and I'm a Geno Smith believer. Even when Geno Smith was on the Giants, I know the Giants didn't have success, but Geno Smith wasn't terrible. Like, he's never been terrible.
Geno Smith was on
It's
the
not
Jets.
like a Sam Darnold situation where you can just say, oh, it was all the Seahawks that made him good. Like,
First of all, you just named 2 quarterbacks on the wrong teams. Geno Smith played for the Jets, not the Giants. And you said Sam Darnold, but it was the Seahawks that made him good.
no. I said it wasn't.
Yes.
You're right. I did.
So yes.
No, I didn't. I was saying that you couldn't say it was the Seahawks that made Geno good.
You said
So I
Sam
said that
Darnold.
right. I said it wasn't like the Sam Darnold situation where you can say the Seahawks is what made him good. But yeah, I guess
Okay.
I should have prefaced. Yeah.
Yes.
Either
Anyway,
way.
all right. Yeah, no, I get it. And
You're right. I was singing Tyrod Taylor.
I like Geno as well. I think he's a solid back. He's a solid QB. And Jacoby Myers is going to be a target machine too. And I think if there's one offense that's, I think, the most prescriptive in the NFL, we know what the Raiders are going to do, man. They're going to hand it off to
Run the damn
Genty
ball.
300 times. They're going to throw it to Bowers 150 times. They're going to get Jacoby Myers in 120 targets, and then the rest of the guys are going to fiddle in. Like that is the team. So, but for the sake of this, it's going to be Debo, the better team, they're going against a better defense, but I just think that the involvement of Debo is going to be too much, and he is the one that got away in my draft, and I'll get into that later. All right. Who are
I'm
you
going to
taking?
go. I'll go Debo.
All right. Well, we're 2 agreements. You'll have to write that down because I don't have it on here anymore. All right. My second tough call, and we'll start zooming through these a little bit. Keeping it with the Broncos and Titans game, J.K. Dobbins versus the Titans, or Tank Bigsby versus the Carolina Panthers. The reason I bring this one up, and I'll lay the groundwork here. J.K. Dobbins, projected timeshare with a not tumultuous backfield, but like a ambiguous backfield where you don't know where the work is going to be. J.K. Dobbins is much older. They got the incoming rookie with R.J. Harvey. And on the flip side of this situation, you got Tank Bigsby, who is in year 3, going to year 3 now.
Yeah.
Last year, he was pretty good on a per-touch basis. And he's going against a much worse defense, in my opinion, at least D-line anyways, with the Carolina Panthers. So it's a ambiguous running back situation. And I want to know what your thoughts are, because this is a pure flex consideration. Going into week 1.
I think this is a tough call.
Why? You think it's easy?
Because nobody's starting Tank Bigsby over J.K. Dobbins.
I think you're wrong, bro.
I think I'm 100% right. The team has openly said the role is Etienne's. And
I
the
don't
Broncos
think they've
openly
said
said
that.
J.K. Dobbins is the starter. And Sean Payton has also notoriously let rookies come on very, very late. So
I don't know about that, because
I have not heard any steam about R.J. Harvey. I'm not saying that like he is going to be bad and that he's not going to play. I'm just saying that like I don't think that he is this like generational back that's just going to like force J.K. Dobbins off the field. I think eventually he probably will take over, because
it's exactly
this
what
is why
happened
I like
last
J.K.
year.
Dobbins. This is why I like J.K. Dobbins as well, though. He is going to do what he did last year because he had no injury during this offseason. He's going to be fully rested, and he's going to come back fresh. And that's the issue with older backs, is that as the season goes on, they falter. But first game of the season, you should be good to go.
I tend to agree, only because I do believe, but the reason I bring this up is
And J.K. Dobbins isn't even old.
No, he's 26 years old.
Yeah, he's not even old. So it's like,
Matter of fact, RJ Harvey's
Yeah,
24.
he's beat up. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. J.K. Dobbins could sneakily shut out RJ Harvey for the year. Truthfully, I think that's very possible.
I don't think it's possible that he shuts him out. I think it's very possible that J.K. Dobbins clearly defines his role as the lead back.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's 100% possible. It would really suck for me being a Broncos fan having a 24-year-old rookie running back waste a whole year of his career behind.
What's Dobbins' contract? 1 year?
It's a 1-year deal, $7 million, I think. So it's a prove-it deal
That could be
for
good for you guys.
Dobbins. But again, I love the running back situation as a fan. Just as a fantasy manager, it's tough. And the reason I bring it up is I firmly believe that ETN is the best back on the field, and there must have been something going on that caused him to be as inefficient and let Tank Bigsby take that job. However, I'm not the only one that is there. There's two sides of the coin with the Jags backfield situation. There's people that are saying Bigsby is the guy, and ETN has dumped himself into the third down pass catching pass pro role, but Bigsby will get the first and second downs and get the goal line. So it depends on what you believe. I'm more on the ETN side, so I will take J.K. Dobbins here, especially since they came out today, and put him securely at RB1 on their depth chart. But I just think it could be close come the end of week 1. Plus, I also believe that the Titans' D-line is much better than the Panthers, and I think the game will be much closer with the Jags and Panthers and allow for different types of game scripts.
Yeah,
So take that for your dumb, tough call.
It is a dumb, tough call still, but
whatever, bro. Let's hear yours.
All right. My second is Nick Chubb versus the Rams or Jerry Jeudy versus the Bengals.
Oh, you're doing different positions?
It's flex. Obviously, these are
right.
flex players.
I'm taking Jeudy all day.
Well, I think it's fair because usually you would give the nod to running back.
Yeah, depending obviously on scoring format, but yes, typically I would prefer to have a running back starting back in my flex than a wide receiver on a bad team. However, I already said Joe Flacco is going to be the top 12 QB this week. It's an awful matchup, or a great matchup against an awful defense for the Browns, and the Rams D-line is legit, and we know it, and I do not expect the Texans to win the game. Their O-line is not going to match up well against the Rams D-line. I think if the injury situation continues to be up in the air for Joe Mixon, after a pretty bad performance I'm projecting for Nick Chubb in week 1, I think he'd be a trade for target because I do think he is going to have value. If Joe Mixon is still like up in the air in the coming weeks, because I think it's a rough start. So this one's pretty easy for me, but I get the sentiment.
Yeah, I think it's tough because I agree the Rams defense is scary, but I do think Chubb's probably going to get the bulk of the carries. I mean, Dameon Pierce is there, but like
Woody Marks too.
Dameon Pierce was there all season last season. Gave the carries to freaking Agumbawale. So I mean,
yeah, but that's situational too. So like Agumbawale was the third down back, even when Joe Mixon was healthy and in the game. I was a Joe Mixon manager last year, and I hated that man Dario Agumbawale because I'm like, get the hell off the field. But they have their running back core is solidified right now. Nick Chubb, Dameon Pierce, and Woody Marks. Like, and each of those has a very different skill set. So I think it's going to be purely situationally based because they don't have a guy that's good at everything like Joe Mixon to be able to step in and fill multiple of those situations. So I don't think
Chubb is definitely an all-around back too, I would say he was always good at pass catching.
Yeah, but I'm also not taking into consideration that Nick Chubb is the same back he was 3 years ago. You know, I think there's a reason that he is making like $600,000 guaranteed something crazy. Like, I just he will be a volume guy because he will get the bulk of the carries. I agree with you. However, I just think between him not getting, I think he needs more than the bulk. He needs all of it to
I will take
have a chance.
Chubb. This will be our first
You're gonna take Chubb on that?
disagreement. I'm going to take Chubb just because, like I said, I think he's just going to volume his way to more points than Judy, and Judy is just a toss-up. They have Cedric Tillman, Njoku, and I'm not like sold. I don't think like you're sold on the Browns having a.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. I
All
think
right.
it's more guaranteed or a better chance
All right. Fair enough.
at 8 points.
We got to disagree on some of them. So, all right.
Yeah.
My tough call. Again, I'm gonna keep it home. I just think it's a fascinating situation. DeAndre Swift versus Minnesota, or Tony Pollard versus the Denver Broncos. We have two mid-tier talents. I think we both agree they're mid-tier talents against stout total team defenses. DeAndre Swift is playing at home, but against the worst defense, in my opinion. And Tony Pollard's playing on the road at Denver. I give the nod talent-wise to Tony Pollard over DeAndre Swift. And the Titans have way less total weapons to go to. So there could be a reality where DeAndre Swift only gets 10, 11 carries because they're throwing screens around. They got Luther Burden involved, Loveland, they got Dunze, they got DJ Moore. Like, there's a world where he's not super needed against a Minnesota team last year, which was impossible to run the ball against. Or, in my opinion, the worst team, the Titans, against a stout defensive front by Denver. And they're both flex-worthy, fringe running back 2 type players in week 1. So this one was the closest one, in my opinion, because I don't know the answer.
I lean Tony Pollard. I think that, like you said, I think I lean the talent. I think, dude, truthfully, all we've heard about the Minnesota Vikings this offseason, we've heard nothing about their offense. It's all been that this defense is going to be the real fucking deal. They've really drafted well in that regard the last couple of years. So I think they're going to be kind of insane this year, probably top 5. So I'll take the talent, and I'll also take the guaranteed touches. I think you got a rookie running back or a rookie quarterback going into Mile High. You're going to try and run the ball and establish the run if you can. That's going to be the first thing they try to do is establish the run 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So not only that, he is the only running back on the roster at this point that's healthy. And then you got DeAndre Swift, not as talented, going against a stout defense. And also they have other running backs. They have Roshan Johnson,
Kyle
and
Monangai.
a few others. Yeah, Monangai. They got those guys, so I don't even think he's going to get the bulk of the workload. Or he's going to get the most touches on the team, but I don't think he's going to get it all.
He's just not necessary, in my
They also have
opinion.
Luther Burden. He could be taking those, end of rounds and stuff like that Swift would get last year.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just tough to me because I just know how dominant Denver's defense has been against the run, and with lack of weapons.
That's why it's scary for sure.
But that's why I say the tough calls for the last, because you could very well have drafted both of these running backs if you went RB late. Which, again, great picks if you went RB late. I'd love to have them both, but these week 1 matchups are rough. But you know what? I'm gonna take DeAndre Swift. I want to go one more different than you. I think maybe he could spring a couple big runs and maybe some pass work. I think Ben Johnson will get him out in space, maybe make a couple of big plays. I don't expect huge performances from either of them, but I'll give the tiny nod to DeAndre Swift. So,
All right. We got one more.
you got one more? Oh, yeah, I went first
Yeah.
that time. All right.
All right. This one probably can't go too wrong with either. We got Waddle versus Indiana or Adunze versus Minnesota.
Waddle, Indiana. Indiana. That sounds gross. Indiana. The Indianapolis Colts. Thank you.
Whatever.
Um,
Indy, I guess you would say.
All right. Waddle against Indy. Or who is the next?
Or Adunze versus Minnesota. Or Mini.
I just know it's funny. We both snuck
I'm starting both these players. But I was thinking, I was like, if this was still a one flex league, we moved ours to a two flex league.
Yeah.
If it was one flex league,
Well, and
I
we
don't know how to
both
start.
snuck in a start sit decision on our own team because I had Dobbins or Bigsby.
Yeah, as we usually do.
Yeah, it's part of the fun, man. We talk through it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and steer you wrong. So I say you bench them both and start
Yeah.
Keon Coleman.
Oh,
Anyways, but no. Blah.
It's tough. I've grown to like Waddle more and more this offseason solely because even last year he was actually really good when he was on the field. And I'm not a fantasy player that like projects injury. Like I was gonna take CMC, but he got fucking sniped for me. You know, I'm not gonna project him to get injured. He had a couple years being healthy. The last couple years have been tough, but
Yeah.
the Tyreek Hill news is alarming. The fact that he's not a captain is, I think that speaks volumes. So this really could be the year that Waddle takes over. And if Tua is healthy and Waddle is healthy, they're gonna ball out.
This blows because it's too
And
completely.
Dude's all promise, so that's the issue.
He quietly had a very decent year for a rookie wide receiver, considering he had Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. I mean, he was over 700 yards. He just didn't have a lot of touchdowns. I think he had 3 on the year. It could be much worse.
It's respectable.
Respectable. Like, I think we can agree, not we as a community, but like we as you and me, we think he's good. Like, we like Rome Dunze.
I like him.
It's just, I mean,
My issue is not even Adunze, it's more Caleb Williams, really.
genuinely.
I struggle to find hope in Caleb Williams, to be honest with you. I think this is history repeating itself with Caleb Williams to a certain extent, and I really hope I'm wrong because I took the shot on Adunze, so I hope I'm dead fucking wrong, but it just stinks of Trevor Lawrence 2.0 to me.
Yeah. I mean,
If not
that's
worse, to be honest.
very real possibility. But with this being said, I'm gonna go Odunze. I said the Bears beat Minnesota at home. I think Odunze
You're
has.
gonna need Adunze to do that.
I think Odunze has a higher opportunity to score. They're at home. I believe the game is at Miami, correct? Let me pull it up.
Yes, I think you're right.
The game is it's at Indy. Okay, so I think Odunze is more necessary for the win if I'm projecting this win like I am than Waddle. But that sucks because Indy's defense is so not as good as Minnesota. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with Odunze, and I just know that Waddle has a propensity to disappear. And I know it's a different year. It's a different vibe in the locker room. I don't know. You left your tough call for the end, but I'm gonna have to go.
I think I'm gonna ride with you as well on Adunze. I know you just said the defense thing, but I think that the Colts have done a lot of work on their. We signed Charvarius Ward this year. Kenny Moore is healthy now. I think the secondary has been much improved, and the Colts have always had a good defense, but for whatever reason, they've always kind of let the big plays go,
Yeah.
which is what normally a Waddle would come in and expose. but theoretically that shouldn't happen as much this year. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I like
tough.
Kente.
I wouldn't know what to do in this situation either. So
Luckily, I get to start them both.
I was
but-
gonna say, you're starting them both, set it and forget it.
Yeah.
All right, now to the fun stuff. Let's take a look at what our draft was, because we've chatted a little bit, but we
we
haven't.
gave him a little peek.
Yeah, so we've thrown a few things in there on some players that we've drafted or missed out on. So let me, if you give me 2 seconds, I will pull this up. Present here. All right, let's do the other screen, because now they're looking at you. Here, hold on. Let me pull it up here. Give me 2 seconds. Ah, that's so annoying. Oh, no, we can do this. All right. And boom. I'll pull Justin over here. Come over here. Now we're ready to rock and roll. All right. Cool.
And we back.
And we back. Can you see the screen?
I can see.
All right. So now we're going to rock and roll. So I just put this graphic here. This is how our team shook out. I got one for me, I got one for you, and then we'll go over our matchup. I got 3 slides here. All right. So my draft started interestingly. It went exactly as I expected and had prepared for, with me picking at number 5.
That was probably your fastest pick.
Genuinely, because I had
honestly, your first 2, they were auto selects.
Well, first 3, if you really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But started with CeeDee Lamb. I picked at 5. So what happened before me? First pick of the draft went Jamar Chase. Then went Saquon. Then went JJ. And then went Bijan. So CeeDee Lamb was my comfort blanket and where I was comfortable with the top elite option, in my opinion, without getting into some question marks. So I just did it. I didn't think twice about it. The way that running backs went in this draft, maybe it was worth a shot on Gibbs, but I'm happy with CeeDee Lamb. And the reason I mentioned that is I had to take Jonathan Taylor as my second round pick. Running backs were flying off the board. The only decision was between him and Josh Jacobs. In my opinion, I was like, I had to take Jonathan Taylor. I loved having Josh Jacobs last year.
Back.
You've never had to convince me, bro. We're on the same
you
side
had
here.
Jacobs over Taylor in your rankings.
And if you remember correctly, we had a conversation. I said, I'm really struggling with that. And I said, I had him switched, and I don't know if I could continue to do that. And when push came to shove, I took JT over Josh Jacobs. And then, again, this is a 10-man league. A few running backs went. A quarterback went. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson went at the 2-3 turn. And so that pushed Brock Bowers all the way to me.
There was 3. 3 went.
Is it Burrow?
Might have been Burrow right after, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a lot. So yeah, it was Burrow. It was Josh Allen, Lamar, Burrow, bang, bang, bang into the 3rd round. So Brock Bowers fell to me in a 10-man league. The onesie positions, I was like, hell yes. He has never fallen to me, not never, but like never in the third round. But he's fallen
barely ever made it to you in the 2nd.
Correct. But again, this is the difference between NFL.com and playing with bots versus real people. So I was like, auto select Brock Bowers. And things get hairy here. More running backs go. And I'm like, look, I'm a 1-1-1. Tight end, running back, wide receiver. And I know running backs are going to be tough to grab. It was between Amari Hampton or James Conner. And I'm like, I can't do that. I will never forgive myself if I take the 30-year-old running back over the 21-year-old first-round
Probably a
pick.
mistake.
We'll see. My team, just looking at the screen, I mean, it might be built.
That was a really shocking pick. I thought you were going to auto-select James Conner because we've both loved him this year. And he comes with Trey Benson, the insurance back. So that's great.
Correct. And if you'll notice, I
But-
didn't snag Najee. I had an opportunity and I chickened out. I can't remember who I picked over him, but I was like, do I want to shore up this backfield in LA? I don't know. But the superstar young back, the plays I saw from him in the preseason, he looks like the real deal. And I felt like I was going to have FOMO if I didn't just pull the trigger and lock in a running back, because again, running backs were flying off the board. Marvin Harrison Jr., round number 5. Again, 10-man league, makes
Son of a
sense.
bitch.
Justin wanted him way more than I did,
He was on his way to me.
and
He was way down the list.
not
He
necessarily.
was like 5 or 6 down. I thought for sure he's coming to me because Kyle was like, I don't even like big lip dude.
I-
And he took him.
he made sense to me. I wanted T. Higgins. T. Higgins was picked right before my spot.
That's another reason. What? Okay, just go back in time to last night. As soon as T. Higgins went off the board, I literally put my head down. I literally went, "Fuck." I was like, "He's probably taking Marv now."
Yeah. So he was
Yeah.
the next wide receiver up in ADP. I love Devontae Adams this year, and in my personal rankings, I have Devontae Adams as a top 12 wide receiver.
And you got Marv as like 19.
17. So there was a decent gap, and I was like, I can't. Something about just like the age. Yes, I was like, between James Conner and Devontae Adams, I was like, I felt like it was a cop out. I felt like it was a pussy move. Like, even if I do think, and I do think that he's still got it, God forbid Devontae Adams gets a hammy injury at 32 and he's not playing, and Marv, who had the crazy expectations, still was respectable last year and is in year 2, can progress. I went for a different ideology, and as much as it like hurts me looking at the team now, I think it might be worth the investment. So
Yeah, he drafted pretty young, for sure.
no, genuinely, I mean, there's not many older players on my team. There's like 3. So
I mean, you got Chris Godwin.
well, we'll get there. We
Cortland
ain't got
Sutton.
there yet.
Okay.
Caleb Johnson, again, I drafted 2 rookie running backs in the top 6 picks. The unfortunate news that Caleb Johnson is the RB3 on the depth chart for week 1 going into the year is
Yeah. I'm
disappointing.
almost kind of glad you got that one.
I have no choice but to hold out hope that this works out.
Although I have him in my dynasty league, so
Well, he's your starting number. He's your
need
number
him.
2. You need
Actually-
him bad.
this pick looks kind of like my dynasty team.
Yeah? I mean, between Jonathan Taylor.
Well, I've got Jonathan. It literally just Jonathan Taylor and Caleb Johnson.
No, that's true. I thought you might have had Marv.
That's
But
it.
okay. So Caleb Johnson, it's unfortunate news, but again, that's why I can explain my next few picks. Cortland Sutton, to me, is the most underrated. Call me a homer, whatever you want. He was great last year with a rookie Bo Nix. Go ahead. And
You told me to.
that's why I needed to pull the trigger on Bo Nix in round 8 too. I wanted to complete the stack, and for context, Baker Mayfield had just gone. Believe it or not, I was going to take Baker Mayfield. I was going to do it over Bo Nix, and Baker went 3 picks before me.
It was quarterbacks went very early.
Correct. And so for me not committing within the first 4 rounds to a QB, I just had to wait. Which sucks because Justin knows me, I know me. That's not what I want to do. So as much as I love my boy Bo, I like to have it. Like, Bo's got question marks. I don't want to have question marks at QB. Do I think it is going to go up? Yeah, absolutely. Or else I wouldn't have taken him, and I wouldn't be rocking his jersey in my closet right now. But I want to look at my draft at the end of it and be like, hell yeah. Like, I'm not even worried. But there's red flags all over the place. But the stack with Cortland Sutton to get him as my wide receiver 3 in my first of 2 flexes between CeeDee Lamb, Marv, and Cortland Sutton definitely that's the strength of my team so far. Ricky Pearsall, sniped him from Justin in round 9. He was quite a few spots down ADP.
A lot of my wide receivers got sniped.
Well, listen, so we were discussing after the draft how our teams kind of flip-flop. Like every player that Justin was typically getting was who I was getting. And it's just because of the players and managers we were drafting with. It's like the value just kept getting pushed down. So essentially everything got pushed down a half a round. That's really what happened.
Yeah.
So because he picked at 5, or I picked at 5, he picked at 8. So just those few picks of people throwing weird draft picks like Mike Evans in the second round, like that's all the difference that it makes. Ricky
It
Pearsall.
almost might be worth it next year to like pick from different, like once we had our draft positions locked in, we just drafted from our draft position. It might be smart to draft from other draft positions.
Yeah.
Just to see like what other players are out there,
I think it's more so like
I wasn't looking at a lot of players I drafted. I wasn't even looking at. I didn't even do any research on because they weren't going anywhere near me. Like Jalen Waddle, he was kind of a split time decision. I was like I had heard some rumblings of Tyreek Hill, and I saw Jalen Waddle just fall super far. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah,
But
it's
I mean,
it's
we'll
tough.
get there, I guess. But
It's tough when you're on the clock and you got 2 minutes and there's not a single player that you were expecting, and you're doing independent research on players that you didn't even expect. And again, that's the issue and kind of the challenge I explained at the top of the show about practicing on one platform and drafting on another, and practicing versus bots and drafting versus real people. So J.K. Dobbins, just again, there's a lot of orange and blue in this middle column, but he was the final starting running back on the board. I even reached like around at the end of the draft. NFL.com gives you a report. It said J.K. Dobbins was, what were you doing reaching on him 40 spots above ADP? I'm like, well, he was the last starting back in the league, and with me having Caleb Johnson apparently third on the depth chart and Amarian Hampton a rookie too, I needed someone who's going to play. So again, I will not accept the homer bias on the J.K. Dobbins pick because it was necessary. Chris Godwin fell that far. Again, he would be my wide receiver 4 based on this. He's going to be back by week 5. I can hang around with the rest of these guys.
I'm just not realizing you did that for 2 players.
Who? Jordan Addison?
Well, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, Jordan Addison, he's healthy. He just has a 3-week suspension. And with him, I was able to slot him on our reserve spot. So, and again, I wish NFL would let you pull up the whole draft board so we could see context here. But he was the last player of an extremely high tier compared to whoever was left. In the NFL.com, you can put suspended players on the reserve, your IR spot. So he's going to sit there 3 weeks, and I get a healthy receiver. I can make it 3 weeks to the rest of my guys. Josh Downs, I was high on all year long. 13th round, he was the only one of a tier. Tank Bigsby, we talked about it in the start-sit or the tough call situation. He has a chance at being a lead back, and when running backs are dead and gone, you need some depth. Jaden Higgins, the NFL.com report said, Bood Carl must know something no one else knows, drafting Jaden Higgins, who's drafted in less than 10% of NFL.com leagues. And I was like, get the hell out of here. You're going to scorn me for that? I don't care. I will take my no profile picture having ass player all the way to the championship, and I'm not going to be sorry about it. And
I feel like everybody's drafting him. I mean, it was a great pick, and I was going to draft him. You didn't, so.
Yeah, I've got plenty of wide receivers on my bench. With the double flex, I'm kind of excited about it. So, last pick, I didn't draft a defense. I decided to lock in a backup quarterback. I wanted Jordan Love. He got picked one spot behind me, or ahead of me. But Brock Purdy was by far and away the last of a tier that needed to be drafted. So took him, And I'll pick up a defense when waivers run tomorrow. Jordan Addison slides down to the IR spot, so I don't have to drop anyone. So that's what we're rocking with to start the year. Now, after I just talk for 10 minutes justifying my anxiety-induced draft, it's Justin's turn. Go ahead, brother. What are you doing?
There was a bug in my whiskey.
Bug wants a good time, too. Don't hate the bug.
It's okay. It's good protein. All right. I'm definitely not going to be as long-winded as you because I don't remember it because I was drunk as... No.
Listen, the last few picks were kind of scrambly towards the end of the draft.
All right. Yeah. I mean, look at here. I mean, it's clearly better than Kyle's.
Okay.
We start off with Ashton Janty, Adrian Peters.
Oh, we lost Justin. Lost him. Where'd he go? No. So while he's gone, I can talk shit about his trash-ass roster. Now, Ashton Genty was a fine pick on the 8th pick of the first round. I knew he was going to go running back because we know how this league goes. Ashton Genty at RB1, it's fun for him. I'm jealous. I got him on Dynasty. He's going to be great. Malik Neighbors, he was messing around with his app on his phone. Oh, we lost him. All right, I'll just put that up there. Ashton Genty, Malik Neighbors.
Back.
Oh, he's back. I was explaining your trash-ass team. But yeah, go ahead.
Damn, I don't know. I was ranting. I don't know.
Well, you just said you were on Ashton Genty. Adrian Peterson Jr. is, I think, what you were trying to say. But go on.
Oh, I said, yeah, I picked to pick 8. It was a bit of a reach as far as the ADP went. But like we said, running backs just kind of flew off the board.
Yeah.
So
that's, I
love CMC or him.
I love CeeDee Lamb, but might hurt me coming. You saw how many quality wide receivers I got at the end of the draft when running backs dried up.
Why I went Ashton Janty here is because I saw at least the wide receivers that were left. There were 3 or 4 that I was really fine with. I mean, there was Drake London there, Malik Neighbors,
Nico, Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra was still there.
Yeah, Nico, Amon-Ra. So it was like, I had options. So I took Janty. Got to the next round. Really debated between Amon-Ra and Neighbors, but Amon-Ra I've just been souring on a little bit with the competition I think he could have this year. I mean, Sam Laporta, at one point was the tight end 1. He could have a bounce back season. He's still very young. So if he eats into the targets, you got Isaac Tesla, Jameson Williams. Amon-Ra is just a target machine. And
Malik Neighbors is more fun, too.
And it scares me.
Can't even lie.
Malik's more fun.
Can't even lie.
Yeah.
So we flip-flop tight ends.
I thought he had the highest upside. Yeah, and then somehow Brock Bowers made it to Kyle, but then Trey McBride made it all the way back to me in the 3rd round, and that was an auto select. I mean,
he would not let me get an elite tight end without getting one of your own. I know that was part of the fucking selection for you. Was like, you're not gonna let me get Brock Bowers, and then you.
It was definitely when you picked Brock Bowers. I was like, fuck, now I have to pick Trey McBride.
I'm telling you, I saw in your eyes.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, well, got to do this now.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think either way I would have taken him for sure. Or, I mean, if Brock Bowers was there, obviously I would have taken him, but
yeah, that
wasn't going to happen. And then like Kyle said, I mean, running backs were getting pretty slim. I think this was a steal getting Kenneth Walker here. I think what happened was running backs went really early. But then it pushed down a bunch of really good wide receivers. So then the 3rd round, it was like the 2 tight ends and then a fuck ton of receivers.
And the quarterbacks.
Which allowed
and the 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, and 3 quarterbacks. But it allowed Kenneth Walker to fall to me, which is awesome because I think he is a running back 1, potentially, if he can stay healthy. So I got him as my 2. Pretty happy with that.
I was very
Jaden
upset.
Daniels.
I thought he was going to get to me.
Yeah, no shot. Jaden Daniels somehow made it all the way to the 5th round, and I had no intention of taking a quarterback. My plan was super late. Like I was thinking Justin Herbert, who like barely got drafted. He was like somebody's number 2. But he was there in the 5th round, and it got to the point to where there wasn't that much talent there either. The 5th round's kind of stale when it comes to wide receivers, and the running back talent is
Well,
not
some
great.
some backstory. I had taken Marv, which was Justin's target in the 5th round, and
Yeah.
so this will be the make or break of both of our seasons. Was is Marv worth it? Is he going to elevate in the 5th round, or did I give up an elite quarterback, or is Justin going double onesies in the first 5 rounds of a double flex league? Is that going to be the hindrance? So that this 5th round turn is, in my opinion,
Yeah.
what is made the biggest difference in both of our teams.
For sure. Like I said, I think that
No, the value. I almost took Daniels in the
Yeah.
5th myself. That was between Marv or Daniels, but
I think
again,
you had the choice. I don't think I had the choice.
no,
Personally.
no, you didn't. If you didn't take Jaden Daniels, I was gonna be like, what the hell is wrong with you? But
Yeah. Chuba was a surprise for all of us, I think.
that was definitely a surprise
think
for me.
He, I think, normally goes around the 4th to early 5th round, and somehow he made it all the way in the 6th. I think people just don't know the name, and they were just pushing him down. I think that's kind of similar to what happened with Brock Bowers, truthfully. He's
Yep.
just there in the 6th round. I'm like, damn. Like, I'd never take him. I don't actually love him. I think Rico Dowdle is going to actually be decently involved, but at that point, there wasn't a ton of running backs left that were going to have the upside that Chuba has. So I had to go and take him there. I'm pretty happy with the 3 running backs I got. Then we got a little fun. We got to take Travis Hunter because I was going to take Ted McMillan, who was actually projected lower in the NFL rankings, so I thought was definitely going to come back to me. But
He didn't even get to me.
Took him.
He didn't get to me. He was going to be on my board, and that's why I had to take Cortland Sutton, and that's why I took Cortland Sutton over Travis Hunter, purely for the fact I was like, if Travis Hunter's usage doesn't,
Would you have taken Tet over Hunter too?
I think so. I think I would have taken 10 over Hunter. I wouldn't have taken. It just sucks. It would feel worse just because of like the known of what I believe about Cortland Sutton and the relationship with Bo Nix and like that dynamic. But it would have been between Tet and Cortland Sutton, not Travis Hunter, purely for like the red flags and like we don't know what the hell's gonna happen. But
Yeah. At this point, I'm thinking I got, actually no, this is my second wide receiver. So this was a bit of a gamble for sure. I mean, this is the second
it
receiver
was
off
your
the board
second
for me.
receiver. Oh
Yeah,
yes,
holy
I
shit,
remember.
I'm just not realizing that.
Yes. Well, because you currently have Waddle in your starting lineup because you already said you're not starting Travis week 1.
Yes. But, it's fun. And I think he's got a lot of upside.
100%.
And also, I just knew that as far as the wide receiver position went, I could fill it out, which is what I ended up doing. I ended up drafting a bunch of wide receivers late. I got Roma Dunze after that, who I was also, honestly, I'm fine with him being my 2 as well. I got Jalen Waddle, who, I mean, he's a risky player, but if he's healthy, he's good.
Yeah.
Cam Scatterboo, I've been really in on him. Others haven't, but I think by like week 2 or 3, he should at least be 50-50 with Tyron Tracy.
Yeah, and he's like, to me, he's the Tank Bigsby pick to me, where it's like he is going to be involved. What capacity? We have no idea. How good are both backs on the field? We have no idea. You just took him 4 rounds earlier. That's all.
Yeah, sure. And then this was probably the snipe of the night. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't the snipe of the night, but I went ahead and shored up the tight end position with Evan Ingram solely because there just wasn't a lot of good picks there.
You There was someone you were wanting. Hold on, was it my team?
We talked about it earlier.
Oh,
There
Addison.
was somebody I passed.
It's Addison.
Yeah, Jordan Addison. Which, truthfully, I probably should have taken Jordan Addison because looking at my team, I could have used the wide receiver depth for
Yeah.
sure.
And
just
again, the added benefit of
shot.
slotting him on your reserve spot for 3 weeks.
Yeah, that too. But I didn't. I've got Evan Ingram.
You got a top 5 tight
And-
end in the NFL this year, sir.
Hey, truthfully, I could still start Evan Ingram and Trey McBride. So, if Evan Ingram, if he's
Technically,
good,
no.
I can start him.
We don't have the tight end
Huh?
flex in our
We
league.
do.
Not a tight end flex in our league. It's just wide receiver, running back.
Nah.
I checked right before the draft. I put that purposely.
We've been able to before because I remember starting Taysom Hill.
It's not now.
Well, that's interesting. So I guess Kyle changed the rules and didn't tell anybody. All right, cool. Anyways, then I get Keon Coleman, which I feel like he went pretty late, right? Like, I guess
Yeah.
he kind of went late in mocks all year, which it's really surprising to me because he actually didn't have that bad of a year either. Like,
He just was hurt and he missed a lot of time, but he had some spike weeks and just like the inherent upside of a big play receiver playing with the former
Yeah.
MVP on a 10, 11, 12, 13 team win team. Like,
exactly.
take a shot. And I love the pick. Who did I draft in the 12th instead? Oh, I got Jordan Addison, but you picked before me on that one. I remember.
Yeah.
To take Keon, or else he probably would have been on my team, and I probably would have tried to take Addison on the other turn. But
Yeah. Yeah, then I get Kyler Murray.
which is insane value,
he was-
13th round, and I should have
Yeah.
sniped him earlier. It's my backup, but I ended up
He
with 30,
was
so.
who I wanted as my quarterback one. In most mocks, I was taking Kyler Murray as my quarterback one in like the 10th. Yeah, he made it to the 13th. No brainer. I mean, at this point, you see who we're drafting. We're drafting Keon Coleman, Kyle Williams, Marquise Brown, and the Arizona Cardinals defense. So I'll take it.
Yeah. With that being said, this is our matchup for week 1. Oh, not this one. But I just went ahead and clipped ahead our head-to-head matchup. So we'll go ahead and give, as you can see my cursor here, we'll go ahead and give check marks, the head-to-head matchups, and we'll
Cool.
see how this will shake out. Ready?
Sure.
All right. So, Bo Nix versus Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is
Jay
playing
Daniels.
New York Giants. Bo Nix is playing Tennessee. I said drunkenly during our draft that I will bet you that Bo Nix outscores Jaden Daniels week 1. But if I'm thinking objectively and what probably should be the truth, I will give the nod to Jaden Daniels. Why is this so fat? I was trying to make a okay. We'll do this one. Although the red doesn't seem right. All right, so we'll give the
Yeah,
check
I mean,
to Jaden Daniels here. All right, this one I think is a no-brainer over here. We're
Yeah, I'll
gonna
take Jonathan Taylor.
go Jonathan Taylor, 1-1 here.
although it should have been Janty up there, but yeah.
Okay, I mean, fine. If you want to switch, we'll just go ahead and do the running back room to begin with.
Okay.
You know, because it doesn't really matter, you know, which one goes where. The running back room. Jonathan Taylor. Listen, we got 2 rookies. It's my personal
Yeah.
belief that Najee does not play week 1.
Against KC though,
Against KC, that's the thing.
on a fucking
At home, or I
whatever.
guess it's not at home. It's in Brazil. Genty at New England with a much worse team. I mean, whatever. It is a slightly worse team. I don't know. I just think
I think it's honestly fucking dead even, dude. In my opinion. Honestly, I
mean,
would probably give the slight nod to me only because I think Janty is just a for sure thing versus Hampton. There's just question marks,
but
but
I don't think that there's question marks if Najee doesn't play. I think the only question mark for Hampton is if Najee plays. And I don't know how you feel, but the game is in 3 days, and Najee, as of today, was still ramping up with the offense and was just cleared for contact yesterday. So
I guess I'm more saying that I I still think there's question marks on Hampton's ability.
oh, okay. I mean, I give the nod to Genty as a better back. I think it's
Yeah,
closer than most people
but
think.
obviously I would take Taylor over Walker as well. But
Yeah. Against all right
I'm
for
fine with breaking even
yeah,
personally.
we'll break even. We'll break even on that. Again, we'll just have to do wide receiver rooms because this matchup is an easy one. I give the nod to me on the receivers. Just
Yeah.
purely CeeDee Lamb, Marv versus Neighbors and Waddle. Again, but Waddle's a big play guy. It could work out that Waddle outscores Marv or even Lamb. We already said Lamb we don't expect the biggest game from. But I think if we're projecting this week,
Yeah, Neighbors is dealing with some injuries,
I think
unfortunately. So
I think we give my team the nod for the wide receivers. Let's just go ahead and do that.
I mean, yeah,
I mean, we both grabbed the number 1 and number 2 tight end. Unless you want to be a gentleman and admit that Bowers is better than McBride. I will say,
I mean, I was trying to lean in and look at the matchup because I'm like, at that point, it's just a matchup decision. Like, who
Yeah.
has a better matchup is the better one.
New
probably.
Orleans is the better matchup for sure. I just think Bowers has more guaranteed work. Not that like McBride
100%.
is uninvolved. He was the target leader on the team last year. So I'm willing to chalk that up.
It's chalk.
All right. Flex. This is where we might differ, but it's really
I would
tough.
give it to Chuba just because I like running backs. Or are we going both flex or what?
Yeah.
Or do you want to?
Well,
Or do you want to do a Dunze versus Sutton Chubbard? Chubbard.
well, okay. I mean, I'm not going to start Caleb Johnson week 1. It's most likely going to be J.K. Dobbins, which is kind of terrifying to me because that means I've got Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton, and J.K. Dobbins all starting.
Yeah, I'll trade you Evan Ingram for Caleb Johnson.
No. Why? You just heard my issue was having too many Broncos.
Yeah, then you can complete the cycle.
No. Talk to me about a different player, and then we'll talk. But, yeah, this is tough. And again, I do have Johnson here. He will not be my starter. So if I'm gonna put J.K. at least right now. That's who it's gonna be.
I mean, Cortland versus Hubbard. I'm going Hubbard.
Yeah, against
Mainly
Jacksonville.
because just wide receivers aren't as guaranteed as a running back is.
Yeah.
Um,
No, and it's fair. It's tough when you're comparing a wide receiver versus a running back. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's like, can Cortland Sutton catch a 40-yard touchdown? Yes. Can Chuba Hubbard punch 2 1-yard touchdowns in? Yes.
yeah.
Like, but I'll give it to you just because the workhorse back versus a wide receiver, but it hurts me. I guess if we're doing it this way, J.K. versus Odunze, I think Denver salts away this game, and the running game takes prowess. Rome Odunze, I just said I'd take Rome Odunze over Waddle, but again, if I'm having to bet on who is more involved week 1 in this matchup, I think I take J.K. over Odunze. Your same logic, having a starting running back in the flex versus a
Yeah,
wide
the
receiver.
issue is that I don't know that he's the full bell cow starter, but
For week 1, I'm full confidence that JK is the one. That's just
I
me.
mean, yeah, I with my own logic, I guess.
All right. Well, this is going to be hard. 1 to 1. That's a dead wash. We just dead washed ourselves.
No,
Yes.
you're the circles.
Yeah, which I don't know
You
why
have
I
3
did
circles.
circles.
I have 2 checks.
I don't know why I did circles. Who the hell let me do circles?
No, it actually worked out because you were circles and I was check marks.
No, we're both checks. Everyone's checks. Because you got the check.
Well, now
Basically,
it's fucking confusing.
no, it's not. Because we gave the wide receivers to me, the quarterback to you, and the running backs and tight ends are washed, and we split on the flex.
You're right.
So that's a wash. I mean, because I have 2 wide receivers. Well, actually, if you want to look at it that way,
running backs to me.
huh?
You didn't give the running backs to me.
No, I know. I said we gave you the quarterback and the 1 flex, and I've got wide receivers and 1 flex.
Oh, yeah, I guess we did wash because I have the quarterback, you have the wide receivers, and then we washed everywhere else.
Correct. I was saying,
okay,
unless you want
obviously,
to,
we
because
both
it's
fucking
2.
drafted good teams. It's gonna be a fucking brutal matchup.
Yeah, and obviously this could go any way possible.
Yes.
Which is why we play this game. But it honestly, in fantasy, like, again, people don't agree with me. That's not what I wanted. Come on.
Truthfully, I'm not even gonna lie. I feel better about your team week 1. I honestly do. I think your team is more figured out. I think I have a lot of people. I think I have a lot of upside on my team, but I haven't figured out who is the guy yet.
Yeah. No,
So.
I mean, I was gonna say I low key disagreed only in the fact that week 1, again with Johnson in, I had 2 rookie running backs in ambiguous situations, but again, no one agrees with me when I talk about this in the fantasy circles. But just like with everything, unfortunately, it comes down to this. This is where your big points come.
Yeah.
And one person can have a 18-point game, the other could have a
I mean, they could both do
29-point
well.
game. No, they both could, but I'm saying it's very, very common that a quarterback will score 18 points. You know, whatever. I'm not happy, but like, it didn't murder you. But it's also very common that Jaden Daniels could score 29. That's an 11-point difference. That's way more common than CeeDee Lamb scoring 29 and Jalen Waddle 11. This is a hell of a game if you're scoring 29 at wide receiver, and 11 is still a good game, and that's a wide difference. So this is why I believe that quarterbacks matter a lot. And you
They
got
do,
the
which
value
is why
there.
every year we tell all of you guys, draft quarterbacks late. And then when we get into our own drafts, we draft the quarterbacks in the 5th round.
Exactly. But all right, it was a long week 1 episode, but it was fun. We had to get some stuff off our chest. We are ready for the week. We have 2 weekday games, Thursday night, Philly and Cowboys in, like we said, in Brazil. Then we got, or no, that's at Philly. And then we have the Brazil game, Chiefs and Chargers. It's a hell of a way to start the week.
Oh, yeah. They got to do dude, that's how they always decide the first matchup of the year. It's the Super Bowl winner.
Yeah. Yeah, we know
They have
that.
to do the ring ceremony.
Yep. That's why it was the Chiefs the previous 2 years. Chiefs, Lions, Chiefs, Ravens. But that was fun. The offseason was stressful. We did our homework. This is what we came up with. We're getting a bunch of leagues. We have some interesting ideas coming down the pipeline for the season. We'll continue working on it. Work in progress, but we're happy to be working. And if you got nothing else, don't miss the last call for fantasy football. Deuces.